guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be using the Daisy Marquez by BH Cosmetics. I was going through all my palettes today and I was thinking what kind of look I should do. I was really inspired by that yellow. I didn't really know where I was going with this, but looking at it, it reminds me of a monarch butterfly. I think they are still selling the Daisy Marquez palette too. I'm pretty sure it's on sale. I'm pretty sure she said that they're still selling them, but I'll put the link in the description down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. So please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let's just get started. Okay guys, so this is the palette we're going to be using today, but first we're going to start with concealing our eyelids. So I'm using the Too Faced concealer in Natural Beige, and I just want to use this as a base because it cancels out all my discoloration and it provides a clean base to make the eyeshadows pop. And the brush that I'm using is by Tarte. It doesn't have a number on it, but it's a Tarte brush. So picking up the palette, we're going to go in with that shade called Naked, and we're going to use this to set the concealer. So it has a little bit of color in it, but not too much, and it's just going to make sure that concealer isn't sticky anymore. It's just a cream color that's matte that has like a little undertone of pink in it. Next shade that we're going to be using is called Dulce, and then on the brush we're taking it with is by Morphe. It's a blending brush. It came in a set, so it doesn't have a number, and I'm just gonna pop this in my crease, all over my crease and the outer corner. This transition shade is gonna help us blend all the other colors that go on top easier. That's the whole point of transitioning. But yeah, I'm just going back and forth and in little circles. Make sure that when you're grabbing more product that you're tapping off the excess, so then you get less fallout. I kind of do this without thinking now, just because, you know, it just helps make sure you don't grab too much on the brush and onto your eyes. And then I'm going to be going in with this Real Techniques 203 brush. It's similar to the MAC 217. And then I'm going in with this shade called Vintage. It's like a rustic kind of orange. And I'm just going to be packing that on the lid, more on the outer corner. And then I'm going to be blending it into the crease where we put that orangey shade, but focusing more of the color on the outer corner. Then I'm just grabbing this dark brown, it's the shade called Cocoa, and then I'm going to be packing that on like I did with the other color in the outer corner. And the brush I'm using is a Stigma brush. I don't think they make it anymore, but it's basically just a little blending brush that's tapered. And yeah, so I'm just packing that on first, and then I'm gonna go blending in little circles. I go back in with that other brush that I used to blend it out a little bit further, because I didn't want the brown too high up. I kind of wanted it to stay low, so that's why I didn't blend it all the way into my crease. And then right here, I'm going to go back into the vintage shade just to help blend with the brown a little bit more. And then I'm going to cut my crease with that same Too Faced concealer, only halfway, not the full lid. Then I'm going to go back with that Naked shade again, and I'm just going to set that concealer so it's not techie anymore. And then going in with that vintage shade again, we're going to be using that in between the brown and where the concealer is, just to make it look like a gradient and all blended. And the brush I'm using is Morphe M124, and I'm just going to pack that with the yellow shade called Flower. This is just a packing brush. It's a matte yellow. It doesn't have any shimmer in it, and I'm just packing that where the leftover concealer is. This shade does have a lot of fallout, but it is really pretty. And then I'm grabbing Dulce again, and I'm putting that in between the yellow and the vintage shade, just so it's all gradient. And then just to make the colors pop a little more, I go back in with vintage. And then we're going to go in with this shade called Royalty, and then we're going to just use that same blending brush and put it in between the brown and the orangey shade, because this is just going to help it blend even more. The shade is Shimmer. This is the only shimmer in the look. It kind of looks cool that the shimmer is like in the outer corner, so I kind of liked that. And yeah, the Royalty shade is just like a brownish kind of shade. And then I'm just going back in with Cocoa, and I'm just gonna intensify the outer corner again because we kind of lost it a little bit, and just blend. And then I went back in with Dulce in the outer corner and like all over the crease, just to make sure that it was all blended. And then I go in with this shade called Stunt, and I wet it with Fix Plus, and I put it in my inner corner. It's basically like a rosy gold type of color, and it was really pretty. I felt like it like made everything pop. And then I go in with this Ulta Beauty oil and 24K Magic. I use this basically as my primer. I wanted to look glowy today, so that's why I use this one. And then I'm just using this NYX eyeliner, and I'm just going to create a wing. Sorry, I'm kind of out of focus. I feel like I was focusing more on the back, and obviously like I didn't tell until I was editing, but yeah, sorry about that. Now I'm just going to be putting glue on my lashes. The lashes I'm using today is by Lily Lashes in the style Miami. These lashes are the faux ones, not the mink hair. And then I'm going to be curling my lashes and putting mascara in the meantime while they're drying. And then just to cover up the line, I'm going in with my black liner again, and I'm going to be covering the lash line just to make it darker. And then I'm using this liquid eyeshadow by Stila in the shade Kitten Karma, and I'm putting it on top of the inner corner shade. It's the same color, it just makes it glitter. And then I go in with the Anastasia Luminous Foundation in 300C. I was going for a more luminous look today, so that's why I used this one. It is a little darker for me right now, but I put a lighter concealer and made it work. By the way, the brush that I'm using is Morphe Y9. And then for concealer, I'm using the same one that we used as a base for our eyes, the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced. So my battery died, so I just decided to do my eyebrows off camera, and I also powdered my T-zone. Everything else is unpowdered though, so I went in with my contour stick by Hoola, and I just blended that out with a Real Techniques sponge. Okay, so this whole time I thought I was recording and I wasn't. But what I did is I cream contoured with the Hoola bronzer, and then I went in with the NARS Orgasm. It's just a stick foundation. I went in with a stippling brush like this and then put it on that way. And then I used the Pure Moonlight Glow, and I used this shade right here. I thought this whole time I was recording, but I guess I wasn't. And that's how I got this kind of glowy sheen to my face. And then to set the contour, I use the Hoola by Benefit. Now you can set everything else too, like the blush and the highlight. Just make sure it doesn't go anywhere. But I think for me, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it how it is. I like how it looks. Just make sure you set your face with setting spray and you should be fine. But if I would probably use this palette because it has really nice blush shades that are like, that go good with this eye. And then I would use this highlight as well. But like I said, I'm just going to leave it because I was like showing you guys how I was doing everything. And then I realized I never clicked play. So yeah, so these are the products that I used. And then now I'm grabbing the shade Dulce, and I'm going to be smoking this out on the bottom. And then we're going to go in basically with all the other shades that we used. And now I'm going to go in with this orange. And I'm just right now using an Anastasia brush that comes with their palettes, and then I'm using the brown on a Real Techniques brush. This is an accent brush, it's a lot smaller. And then I'm just going to put mascara on the bottom of my lashes, and then I'm going to be, for lips, I am going to be using the lip liner in Cork by MAC, and then the Honey Love lipstick by MAC. And then I'm going to top it off with a gloss that's clear that has little gold flecks in it by Dulce Colors. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.